This course is presented by TTJ Tech Services and Stir It Up Studios.
And now, to the glory of God and the benefit of listeners everywhere, it's iPad for all computing.
Well, praise God. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Once again, welcome to our session today, folks. We are ready for iPad for all computing. And hard to believe we're moving along already so quickly, but we really are. And we're going to be taking a look today at the Messages app. And we've looked at Messages, of course, in some ways already. If you've taken our iPhone course, we did a pretty extensive overview, but I'm going to do some of the more advanced things today. So let's waste no time. Let's get right into it. Let's get our original audio going, because that would seem like a good idea.
Done button. More button.
And you're hearing everything. So what I'd like to do first, pardon me while I adjust the iPad a little, you might hear some noise, little sorts of things, but that's just necessary for a moment. I'll get this other device out of the way here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead on into the Messages app.
Picture-in-picture displayed. Dock. Safari. Messages. Has alert.
Now that has...
Double tap to open.
That's probably because I was in airplane mode. I just brought this iPad out of airplane mode. We were, traveling, and so I had to do that, but once I open it,
Zoom.
It'll catch up real quick, and normally it'll show nothing, or it'll show a badge if I have unread messages. So let's go back out of it now.
Dock. Safari. Messages. 6 unread messages.
All right, and I don't...
Double tap to open.
I don't think that's accurate. I think that those will go away once it realizes that they were read. I had some this morning, but let's go back in.
Zoom. Messages. More button.
Now again, just a reminder that the Messages app is a split view app. So here's what we want to kind of get across to you today. When I'm exploring a new app, what's the first thing that I do? Well, my advice to you is remember that this is first and foremost a touchscreen device. So I'd start by touching the screen, right? And I'd start at the upper left and I'd start swiping to explore the app. But we know already that this is a split view app. And so I know that if I select a conversation on the left, it's going to have its contents on the right. So let's take a brief look at that. Let's touch the left.
Picture-in-picture. Video.
And of course, that's our Zoom window. A little lower.
Messages.
Go all the
Lori
way.
training. Page 1 of 20. Page. Family. Edit. Filter. Filter. Button.
So the first button here is our filter button. What is in this? Well, this is how we filter what we see in the messages list. So if I double tap on this,
Selected. Messages. Button.
the default is to filter by messages. That means all of your messages are going to show up there, basically. The next one,
Spam. Button.
spam,
Recently deleted. Button.
recently deleted,
Filter by.
and then you have filter by,
Unread. Button.
and so,
New mail.
and of course, pardon the notification, we are not going to have Do Not Disturb on because I'm not in the Zoom window, but we can filter by unread,
Unread. Manage filtering.
And then we
button.
can manage filtering. So I can see just the unread messages if I want to. There are other options I can enable if I go to manage filtering, such as
Dismiss context menu.
filtering
button.
unknown senders so I don't see them in the main list of messages, things of that nature. I also want to point out you saw recently deleted. You heard recently deleted. Listen again if I swipe back to the left.
Unread filter recently deleted. button.
And that's so important because if you delete conversations, they're going to stay in your recently deleted for 30 days, I believe it is. And once that time elapses, they will automatically be removed from recently deleted. Okay, and they'll be permanently deleted. If you wish to delete them sooner or to recover them, maybe you deleted something you realize later you actually wanted to keep, you can go back into recently deleted. It'll show the number of days remaining for the message before it's deleted, but you can recover it at any time from the rotor. So this is filter. We're going to get out of this.
Unread. Manage. Dismiss context menu. button.
All right. I could have also scrubbed out of that. Now, that's the top left of the Messages app. Let's keep going.
Picture.
Again, I'm going to go back to it.
Message. Search.
And again, I just have to stress, it's even easier than what I'm making it sound now when that picture-in-picture window is not there, right? That is there for a reason, and that's great, and praise God, it's an important part of the multitasking experience on the iPad, because if you want to be watching a show and doing other things, you know, especially if you can see, you're going to need that picture-in-picture window, or even a Zoom call, right? Our Zoom call doesn't have video, so we technically don't have need of it, but it's there. So what that does is, though, it means that where I would normally touch to land right at the top left of the window is now going to be a little bit more evasive. It just takes a little more work to get there, but no big deal. So,
Filter. Edit. button.
all right, the next option you have is edit. Let's take a look at what's under that.
Matthew Volbrecht.
My name is under that.
Name and photo.
So name and photo. I can edit my name. I can edit my contact poster.
Select messages. button.
This is how we can multi-select, right? This is especially useful if you want to select, 12 different conversations and delete them at once or something like that. That's the select button.
Edit pins. button.
Edit pins. Well, we know what pins are, right? We can pin our favorite and most important conversations so they'll always appear at the top of the list. I believe you can have up to 9 pins, and here you can edit them if you wish.
Dismiss context menu.
All
button.
right. Now,
Mom.
what I would like to do is to go ahead to the right now,
Your
but it landed me on the right side of the iPad, so I need to touch the left again.
Conversation. Search. Edit.
Now,
button.
to the right of the edit button,
Search. Search field. Conversation.
Okay.
Search.
it's the search field, and I think there's normally a dictate button there, but again, we're on Zoom, so what we can do is we can search for conversations based on subject, topic. You're not normally seeing a subject field in your conversations unless you go in. I think you can enable that, but that's not what I mean. I just mean you can type a certain, word or topic or whatever here and search for it. All right. Now to the right is our conversations list, and you're going to see my pins begin right away.
Conversations. Kylie. Pinned.
Okay.
Actions available.
There's my first pin, and it's my daughter. She wanted to be first in the list. She made herself first in the list. So she's my first pin. If I double tap it, it selects that conversation on the left and displays it on the right. And again, you heard actions available. Remember, you can use quick actions, which is your long press gesture here. You can also use the rotor. If I use one finger, swipe up or down, I can hear the actions.
Drag Kylie. Delete. Open a new window. Hide alerts. Mark as unread. Unpin Kylie. Activate. Default.
So lots and lots of choices in the rotor, and basically I'll talk about a couple of them. The drag option, I've never used that in this way. You can drag things on the iPad, and I've definitely done that. Never with a conversation. I don't know where you drag a conversation. I don't know if that's really meant to be there, but I've never done that. Delete, I think, is self-explanatory. Mark as read if it's unread, or mark as unread if it's read.
Delete. Open a new window.
Open in new window is going to allow you to have this conversation in its own window. We've already looked at how to deal with multiple windows and we're going to revisit that. Excuse our puppy there, but we're going to revisit windowed apps in just a couple short weeks, I believe, when we do a multitasking session with notes and messages together. It's going to be great, and we'll explore that more. But we've already shown it to you briefly, and I think I even did a bonus session on it and uploaded it for you, where I showed you how to access the resize handle and so on when the pip window wasn't there and so on. And so you know about windowed apps already. That's why we introduced that so early. So now you know what it means to open a conversation in a new window, right? If we hadn't taught you first about windowed apps, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But now that we have, you understand, open in new window, it's going to literally open that conversation in its own window. And you'll be able to move that window around if you want. You can close it later. You can do whatever you want. I don't really, again, it's personal preference. There's no right or wrong, right? I don't really think I would use that much because you don't really need to. If you select the conversation on the left and use the right side of the iPad, you're good to go. But I guess maybe some people want a bigger view of that conversation, or an exclusive view of that conversation, let's say, and so they could open it in a new window. And the other thing you're going to see here again in this rotor actions, remember we're just looking at rotor actions.
Hide alerts.
Hide alerts. Now that's an important one, and it's especially important to know what happens if you've hidden the alerts. That will say show alerts instead of hide alerts. It's going to say show alerts. People, even sighted folks, have done this inadvertently. They've done it without meaning to, and then they'll say, why am I not getting notifications from, my brother John? Everybody else's messages, I'm getting notifications, but John says he messaged me, I didn't get it, and then suddenly, oh, it's there, I see that he did, but it didn't, my phone didn't ring, or my iPad didn't. Well, it's because you might have accidentally muted the conversation with brother John. So what happens is, if you choose hide alerts, the messages are going to continue to come in, but you're not going to hear the alerts. Now, why would anyone want to do this? Well, the best example I can think of is when you are a part of a group conversation. Maybe you got 10 or 12 people, and that group is just really, really chatty. We have a group called the Cousins Chat, where my cousins and I and our family members, we're all in this, and it's good. I mean, we're very close with our cousins, and they're kind of really our best friends and so on. So it's fine. It's not a bad thing. But sometimes it gets especially chatty, and that's also not a bad thing, because a lot of them are young kids or kids in the group, and it's fun. It really is. But sometimes you're busy and you can't look at it right now, so you don't want every 5 seconds an alert coming in when it's really chatty. So you can hide the alerts temporarily for just a particular conversation. And by the way, if it's a group conversation and you've hidden the alerts, if you are mentioned by name, it's going to send you an alert. Now that can be disabled in your settings also, but they call that mentions. So if someone puts your name, if you really want to be sure, you use the hashtag in the name. But most times, even if you don't use the hashtag, it knows who it's about anyway. And so if you are mentioned by name, or especially with a hashtag in your name, you're going to get that alert because now you've been mentioned, right? So even if you have the alerts set to hide, it will notify you if you've been brought into the conversation. Now, the other one here,
Mark as unread.
Told you about that.
Unpin Kylie.
And then unpin.
Activate default.
Well, activate is obvious. It selects it. So unpin would take her out of my pins. If the person already is not in your pins, it would say pin instead of unpin. So I have 9, I think, or do I have 8? I don't know. I have Kylie. I have my son.
Carson. Jessica. Family chat.
We have a family chat with
swipe up or down.
All 4 of us.
Kids chat.
I have a kids chat. I kind of created that whenever, back in the pandemic days when my kids were home from school, but my wife had gone back to teaching in class. My kids were still home. And sometimes we'd be at opposite ends of the house and I'd want to text them something, but I didn't want to bother my wife. So we made the kids chat. We still kind of keep it in case we want to, surprise mom with something or whatever, so we have that. And then
Pat, pin, Fred, pin, Megan, pin.
Some family and friends. And those are my pins. Then we get to the regular list.
41350. Unread. Staples.
And that's a notification from Staples. So I can double tap it to open it up, or I can just mark it as read in the rotor here.
Delete, open, and hide mark as read.
There we go. All right,
41350. Staples.
Now I can select any of these conversations and begin working with it by touching it on the right. So let's select this conversation with my cousin who wanted me to give her a call, tell her all about our trip and so on. And so I go back here
Megan, pinned.
and I double tap on her.
Swipe up or down.
And
Filter, button.
Immediately I touch the right side of the screen.
Messages. Today, 12. Your iMessage. Hey, I can call you back this afternoon. Link.
Okay, so I was telling her that I can call her. I was at lunch at the time, and then I knew I was going to be having class, but if I continue swiping through this,
Megan Kathleen
she
Whistle.
says,
Sure, 12:42 p.m.
See, I'm just reading this, and each of these you can swipe up and down on too for rotor actions.
Tap back. Reply. Attach sticker. Copy. Translate. Select. More. Drag. Activate. Default.
The select option is not where you select messages within a conversation. That's under more. The select option is where you select parts of the actual message right there. And an example of this is like if somebody said to you, I think you'll really like the following quote. It was said by so-and-so, and I think it's very fitting. And then in the same message, they put the actual quote. Well, maybe I only want to copy that quote. I don't want all the verbiage that precedes it. So you can use the select option in the rotor to select part of a conversation, a part of a message, excuse me, not part of a conversation, part of a message, part of an individual message if you don't want the whole message, but just part of it. And it works well with VoiceOver. I did a demonstration of that, I believe, in our iOS 26 tutorials that we did back in the fall. But maybe we'll do it again. But that's the select option, okay? Don't be confused. That's not the option that lets you select messages within a conversation. In order to get that, that's the more option, okay? You heard more.
Drag. More.
Okay? That's where you select multiple messages within a conversation.
Select.
Select is where you select part of a single message. All right? So just be aware of that difference. All right, let's keep swiping here.
Megan, your iMessage. Free in about 10 minutes. Or your iMessage. 4 might be best if that works for you. Megan Kathleen, your iMessage. Delivered.
All right, so here's my last message to her.
Your iMessage. Okay, I will. 1:47 p.m.
And then the message was delivered.
Swipe up. Delivered.
And then if I keep swiping to the right, of course.
Vertical scroll bar. 6 pages. 98%.
And I think you know about vertical scroll bars, right? If you want to scroll through long lists of things, you can use a 3-finger swipe up or down. But you can also use a vertical scroll bar. Now, sighted folks just kind of grab the scroll bar and swipe up or down. And we touch the scroll bar and we swipe up or down, and it moves by percentage. And then you can swipe to the left and see where you actually are. The higher the number, the further down you are. 100% is the very bottom. 0% is the very top. Going on to the right.
Add button.
There's our plus sign. VoiceOver calls it add. And that's where we can do all kinds of message apps, iMessage apps, right? We can send money, we can record audio. I'll show you some of those here in another conversation. Swipe right.
Message, iMessage, text field.
And there's the edit field.
Double tap to edit.
That's where we're going to edit.
Swipe up or dictate, dimmed, button.
There's the dictate button. To the right, of course, it's grayed out because I'm on a Zoom call, so it's not available right now to dictate on this device. Normally it would be.
Dictate.
And that's it. So the edit field is just back to the left.
Message, iMessage,
and
text
you'll remember
Double tap to edit.
Whoops, you'll remember that I showed you this app before, and I said, if you don't know where to go, remember the bottom right of the app.
Message, iMessage, text field.
Is like the bottom of the iPad screen near the right, and that's where you're either going to find the edit field or you're going to find the keyboard if the edit field is already open. In my case, it's not already open, but watch what happens now.
Message, iMessage,
if
text
I
field.
Double tap.
Double tap, message, text field, numbers.
Now I have the keyboard.
Return.
I can type things, okay? So let's select a different conversation, and actually let's, I was just talking this morning with our instructor group. So let's continue swiping on the left.
Conversation. Jessica. The cousin. TTJ instructor chat. Good morning. Looking forward to getting back into class today. See you this afternoon. 12:17 p.m.
I sent that
actions available
earlier today, and I said good morning because I wasn't thinking about we have Sarah in Eastern time and Cliff in Central time. So I just said good morning. It was technically afternoon for us. Wasn't thinking about that. But anyway, I'll double tap on it to select it. And you'll notice
The cousin selected. TTJ instructor chat.
now it's selected. Okay, so on the right now, I have my messages with that group. But I'm going to go to the bottom of the screen on the right again.
Numbers.
Okay,
Return.
this time the keyboard is already displayed. Okay, so let's type a message. Let's just say testing.
Cap TETNG.
And let's send it.
Message. Send. Button.
That I found.
Send using iMessage. Double tap and hold to add effect.
We'll do effects in a couple minutes. But that is the right side of the screen above the keyboard. So I knew, again, praise God, it's a God-given talent, but you can practice and you can hone that skill. I know where that is. And sometimes I start demonstrating things to you and I forget that I really need to explain exactly what I just did. Because if I don't say anything, all you're hearing is voiceover say something, and you say, well, how did he get that? Well, how did I find that? Because I tapped it and you heard it say,
Message. Send. Button.
right? But what does that tell you? So what did I do? Well, I knew where the edit field approximately was going to be. I would say it's the right side of the screen, sort of a little, right about halfway up the screen on the right. Now, when I say right, I'm not at the far right edge of the screen. I'm sort of a few inches in. And if you really want a good frame of reference, I'm in landscape mode. Charge port is to the left. So the volume buttons are on the front of the iPad for me at the moment, kind of closest to my body, but they're on the right-hand side, okay? And of the front, if that makes sense. My finger, I place my thumb a couple inches below or to the left of the volume button, and then I use my index finger and I reach up about halfway.
Messages. Message. Text field is editing. Testing. Insertion point at end.
And there's the edit field.
Swipe.
And so now, and the reason it's up there is because the keyboard is still on the screen, right? If I hide the keyboard, it's going to be down low at the bottom. Now I can swipe to the right.
Send. Button.
Just one time.
Send using iMessage.
And I can
double tap and hold to add effect.
Double tap to send that.
Dictate. Dimmed.
And there it went. Now if I swipe left.
Add messages. Your iMessage. Testing. 2:30 p.m.
We can see that I sent that.
Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
Now, what if I want to send another one with a special effect? Well, let's put testing 1, 2, 3.
Cap TETNG space 1 space 2 space R search 2 3 3.
All right, let's read it again. That edit field is in the same place.
Messages. E.
And I don't know why our puppy's barking this time, but
vertical.
Now, okay,
message. Text field is editing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Insertion point at end.
Now I can do several
Use the rotor
things.
to access.
I can add some cool effects here. The first thing I can do is I can add text effects. If you want to add text effects to only part of a message, you can select part of that message using your normal selection options, which we will review when we teach notes in a couple of weeks, or maybe it's next week already. I don't know. It's coming up. But when we do that, we will review the advanced editing features, even though this is not a voiceover course. Those things are so important that we are definitely going to review them. But you can use your normal selection options, text selection in the rotor, if you want to select only part of a message to apply effects to. In my case, I'm going to apply it to all of testing 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to swipe to the right past the send button.
Send button, undo button, redo, dimmed button, paste, dimmed button.
Okay, so first of all, it's a good idea for us to talk about that because I don't know how much I had opportunity to share that with you, but as we get more into
new mail,
editing, we will go over it. The iPad keyboard in landscape mode always has the undo and redo and paste buttons right on the screen, so you can easily paste. That's even easier, in my opinion, than using the rotor to paste. You can still use the rotor, and I already shared with you that I have those 4-finger swipe up and down, to copy and paste and so forth. You can still do those, but the paste button's right here on the screen as well, and that's typically the case in most edit fields. And so it's going to be probably your easiest way to paste. You'll notice it's grayed out. That's because I have nothing in the clipboard right now. But keep swiping. Oh, and notice those buttons were not there when the edit field was empty. Remember that this is dynamic. That's the beauty of a touchscreen, right? If we had all buttons, we wouldn't be able to do that. So praise God for the ingenious idea of having multi-touch and touchscreens. So the paste button, the undo button, they were not there when the edit field was empty. All we had was a dictate button. But now that there's text in that field, you're going to have a lot more stuff. So you have undo, redo, paste, and then
3.
you're going to see quick type suggestions.
Text animation button.
And there's your
Tab.
Let's see.
Text animation.
There's
button.
your text animation button. So let me show you these text effects. Double tap.
Testing. Bold text, switched button, off. Italicized text, switched button, off. Underline text, switched button, off. Strike through text, switched button, off. Big, switched button, off. Small, shake, nod, explode, ripple, bloom, chiller, cut, button, copy, button, paste, dimmed, text animation, button, tab.
Okay.
Cut.
Now you even got cut. Now listen to what... So this is not a word processor by any means. It's the Messages app, right? But it still has bold, italics, underline, strike through. And notice we have some of these other cool effects like bloom, jitter, explode, nod, shake, rattle. We're going to go ahead and pick...
Chiller, bloom, switch button,
bloom.
Off, on.
And now what I'll do is I'll...
Ripple, switch button, off.
I will...
Double tap to toggle settings.
Scrub out of this with 2 fingers.
Message, 1 effect, text field, is editing, testing 1, 2, 3 selected.
And notice it has...
Use the rotor to access misspelled words, mentions, text effects,
the
more
rotor,
content available.
Yeah, the rotor will even show you what effect, that there's where the text is, but it said there's 1 effect. Now, over to the right...
Send, button.
We can send it.
Send using iMessage. Double tap and hold to add effect.
So I can go even further and add more effects to this if I really want to get their attention. So let's do that. Let's long press on this.
Send with effect selected. Bubble button.
Now you might remember from other classes we've taught there are 2 kinds of effects, bubble effects and screen effects. Bubble effects just make the message bubble do something. Screen effects are full screen effects, okay? So what options do we have if we look at the bubble?
Screen, button,
there's screen.
2 of 2.
Let's see.
Slam, loud, gentle, button, invisible ink, close, button.
So there's slam, loud, gentle, and invisible ink. If I change it to full screen effects...
Slam, screen, button, selected, screen, 2 of 2.
Now these you don't access by swiping with 1 finger. These you have to access by 3 fingers scrolling left or right because they are full screen, so it shows them on a whole page.
Echo, copies of the message bubble echo across the screen, expanding and shrinking as they rise and swirl then disappear.
And again, if you go to the right,
send button.
There's your send button. Now,
close button.
There's your close button.
Page 1 of 8.
And
echo.
There's
adjustable.
another. Okay, that's another
Swipe
way.
up or down.
That's another way to go to the other pages because you can swipe up or down on that page selector. But you don't need to if you just go.
Echo. Copies of the message bubble echo across the screen.
We'll just do a 3-finger swipe to the left.
Page 2 of 8. Spotlight. Spotlight. The conversation darkens. Then a bright spotlight of white light illuminates your message as particles of dust float through the light.
So I'll use that one and I'll send it with that. And you might even hear, I don't know how well you'll hear it in Zoom, but you might even hear the spotlight sound when I send it.
Send button. Send. Full screen effect. The conversation darkens. Then a bright spotlight of white light illuminates your message as particles of dust float through the light. Your iMessage. Testing 1, 2, 3. Message.
I think
text
there's
field.
Even I think there's even a replay button if I swipe left.
Add. Messages. Your iMessage. Testing 1, 2, 3. Vertical scroll. Your iMessage.
No.
Testing.
I guess not for me.
Your vertical.
Probably when I receive it. I know I've seen a replay button, but I think it's only when I receive the message, not when I send it. So if I want to replay the effect when I receive it, I can do that. And I think my cousin's chat has that because one of my cousins had a birthday today. Let's go.
The cousins. Full screen effect. Multicolored balloons float up from below. Jessica Volbrecht. Happy birthday to Gavin.
Now, that's what you call an automatic effect, probably, unless maybe she did it manually. But when you type the word, it used to be that when you said happy birthday, you had to put it exact. You couldn't add anything like she had to Gavin in there. So I don't know if that did it automatically, because maybe nowadays it does. Or maybe she added it manually, as I just demonstrated a few minutes ago. I don't know. It's very likely that it does it automatically now, anytime happy birthday is part of a sentence, but I don't know. It may not. The generally accepted wisdom is type it exactly that with nothing else before or after it. And it will do an auto effect. It'll trigger the balloons automatically when you type that. Now this one I think has
Add messages. Melinda Cal today. Add to Jessica.
Yeah.
Replay.
See,
button.
that one has the replay button because somebody else sent it. So if I want to replay that effect, I can double tap on that replay button and it will do that. So the whole idea is to show you that that's how you add effects, and you can trigger them automatically by typing certain phrases like happy birthday, happy new year, congratulations. There's a bunch of different phrases that you can type. Again, the generally accepted wisdom is that you have to type it exactly without adding any extra stuff, but I don't know if that's still true, quite honestly. But again, you can add manual screen effects to anything you want as well, and we just showed you how to do that a moment ago. If I want to compose a new message, by the way, where is that? Because you haven't seen the compose button yet. Well, the compose button, let's touch the top right of the screen and look around a little. I have a conversation. Let me go back to the group with the instructors here first.
Edward Best Buy. Picture in picture. So TTJ and
there we go.
Message.
Okay.
Tech.
There's the TTJ instructor chat. Now I'm gonna tap sort of the upper middle right. I don't even know if that's really a proper way to say it, but upper middle right. Okay, the top of the iPad on the right hand side, but near the middle. Remember that quadrant idea? And what we're gonna look for is just see what's up here.
TTJ instructor chat button.
All right, that's
double tap for additional contact options.
Gonna come back to that. Go to the left.
FaceTime button.
Go to the left again.
Compose button.
There's Compose. So Compose is on the right side of the iPad, basically at the very top of the window. If you go left again.
Conversations. Joseph, Jessica, Tim.
I went to a very, very old conversation. Oh, I don't know. Let's three finger swipe down.
Page 67 of 102.
Yeah, very, very low on the list. Very, very far down at the bottom. Let's touch the right side again.
TTJ instructor chat button.
Swipe left.
FaceTime button.
And again.
Compose button.
So Compose is on the right. Compose works like it always has, right? You double tap.
2. Text field is editing. Character mode.
Now,
cancel.
To the left
button.
is cancel. To the right.
Add contact button.
Add contact. If I want to add a contact from my list, I like to do it by typing the first few letters. So let's send a message to Trainer Cliff.
K-L-I.
And just type the first few letters. I'm all on the right side here, not on the left. Touch the upper right, middle.
Results. TTJ. Add contact. Results. TTJ instructor. Cliff. Info.
There's Cliff.
TT Cliff.
And I'll double tap it.
2. Text field is editing.
I'm back in the edit field if I want to add more recipients and create a group. I just keep doing the same thing. I can name the group later. Swipe to the right.
Cliff Miller Senior. Info at start.
It shows me who's already in the group. Let's touch down near the bottom right.
Underscore.
And I already got a keyboard, but it's not the correct edit field because this is the to field. So if I type again in here, it's going to give me more recipients. So what I'm going to do is touch the sort of that what I described where I put my thumb like below the volume button and then reached up to the middle.
Messages.
And if I don't land right on it, if I happen to do as I just did now and sort of land in empty space, all I do is swipe left or right, and it will find the next available item.
Delivered. Vertical scroll bar.
And there it
Add
is.
button. Message. iMessage. Text field.
Double tap.
Double tap. Insertion point at end. Return.
All right, and let's ask
Use
Cliff.
the rotor to access.
Let's ask Cliff if he's in class today.
Cap R H U U spit I N spit C F S S spit T O D A.
It auto-filled day. Type TOD. I just pressed the
space today,
and it finished it out for me.
O R space A R U.
Are you in class today, or are you slacking?
U.
And it knew.
Hi.
Oops.
I H
Okay.
U U.
Misspell it. It fixes it for you.
S L A C K I N.
Put a question mark, shift, and period.
Question mark.
Let's read it.
Message. Text field is editing. Are you in class today or are you slacking?
And see.
Character.
Again, I just knew where to tap above the keyboard, right-hand side of the screen. Swipe to the right.
Send button.
Send it.
Send. Message. Text field. Your iMessage. Are you in message? Text field is editing.
I swipe left.
Today. Your iMessage delivered.
It's been delivered.
Vertical scroll bar. 18 pages.
It doesn't show me that he's typing yet, so he could actually be working, not slacking. I'm just joking with him, of course. He might be working at his other job, and so he might not be able to respond. But he will if he can. So that's there, and it'll show me if he's typing. If I stay in the conversation, there'll be a typing indicator. But what I want you to see...
Vertical scroll bar.
Oh.
Cliff is typing.
Yep, he's typing. How did I know? Because it moved me to the vertical scroll bar.
So far, your iMessage. Cliff. Vertical. Cliff. Slacking as always. 2:43 p.m.
All right, he said slacking as always. I'm going to send a tap back to that. You can get your tap backs by long pressing or by using the rotor. So we'll use the rotor.
Drag. More. Select. Drag. Tap back.
Tap back. Double tap. We'll send a
heart button.
We'll send a laugh. Swipe
double
to the right.
Tap, thumbs up. Thumbs down. Ha ha.
We'll send ha ha. That's the laugh.
Double tap.
So now.
Message. Cliff. Slack. Vertical. Cliff. Slacking as always. You laughed at this. 2:43
See, so it says that I laughed at that. That's a tap back. And you have some built-in ones: the heart, the thumbs up, the thumbs down, the ha ha, and I think maybe the question. You also have a what's that? An option of adding any emoji that you want as a tap back. That is very different from putting emojis in the edit field as part of your conversation. You can do that too, but the tap back allows you to also react with an emoji. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Back on my shelf by the bathroom. Wait, where are you going? Can you do me a favor? Come here. It's hot out. I want to eat this. I just didn't have time when I was with Fred. Okay, so I apologize there, folks. I'm back. So anyway, that's the difference between a tap back emoji versus using emojis in your, actual conversation. Now, we responded to Cliff's message with a laugh, so we demonstrated tap backs. I would now like to show you how you can also edit an existing message that you type. And so if I go in, we're going to do two things, and the dog will stop barking in a moment. My son is just heading out of the house for a minute, and you know the drill. When people leave and when they come, she goes crazy, and then she calms down real quick. All right. So I'm going to show you two things now in rapid succession. I'm going to show you unsending a message, and I'm going to show you editing a message that you've typed. The unsending, I want to explain it before because you don't have a lot of time. I think you only have 2 minutes to unsend a message once you send it. And the edit, you can actually edit up to 5 times within a 20-minute time period. But I'm going to just go ahead and send a message. We'll stay in this conversation with Trainer Cliff, And he said I'm slacking as, what did he say? Slacking as usual, slacking as always?
Delivered. Cliff, slacking as always.
Okay.
You laughed at this.
So I'm going to respond and say slacker, but then I'm going to unsend it as soon as I send it. Now, how am I going to do that? I'm going to long press on it. That one is not in the rotor, I don't believe. But you can long press, and you'll get the undo send option. So let's type it.
Return. Cap S-L-A-C-K-R.
Whoop.
Slacker.
It fixed it. I just pressed the space, and it fixed it. Then I deleted the space.
Return R.
All right, so we'll send that.
Romeo. Message. Text field is editing. Send button.
We'll send.
Send using send.
And
Dictate.
then I think about it, and I say, oh, maybe that's a bit harsh. So we'll go back.
Message it. Your iMessage. Slacker.
We'll long press it.
Reply. Attach sticker. Edit. Undo send. Button.
Undo.
Tap back picker.
Whoop.
Top. Heart. Thumbs. Heart. Dismiss handwriting. Tap. Thumbs up. Heart.
Okay.
Picture
I
in
accidentally
picture.
got
Zoom.
into the-
Pop out. Vid. Select. Button. Translate. Undo. Edit. Undo send. Undo effect. Your iMessage. Slacker. 2:47 p.m. Message. Text field.
Now look.
App. Messages. You unsent a message. Button.
It's gone.
Cliff. Slacking as always. You unsent a message. Button.
It's gone, okay? It shows me that I unsent it, but it's gone. And now I'm going to send another message, and this time I'm going to long press it, and I'm going to choose to edit the message so I can change something that I say. So let's say, I'm going to say, I am teaching the mail app today.
Cap I sp A F sp F E L H G teaching H E space cap M A I L space A P P sp T O D Y period today.
Typing on screen, and I say, I'm teaching the mail app today, which of course is not true. I'm teaching the messages app today, but we're going to pretend. So I say,
message text field is editing. I am teaching the mail app today.
Swipe to the right.
Insertion send button.
Swipe to the right, I said, and send.
Send using send.
And then I go back, I read that,
messages,
and I say,
your iMessage. I am teaching the mail app today.
oh my, why did I put mail? I'm not teaching the mail app, I'm teaching the messages app. Better edit that. So we'll long press.
Reply button. Attach sticker. Edit button.
Edit.
Dismiss context menu.
Okay, well, I'm touching the wrong place on the screen.
Dismiss
when that happens.
Selected. Shift. Dismiss
That's
context.
why.
Dismiss context menu. Dismiss
That's why that comes up. I need to remember to touch the left
Message.
side.
Delivered.
Let's do that again.
Your iMessage.
Okay.
I am teaching the mail app today.
All right, so when I choose
Reply.
edit,
Attached edit button.
I'm going to choose edit, and I'm going to make sure I tap the left side of the screen when I double tap, because when I touch the right, it's putting me in the wrong place.
Edit.
Sleeping face.
Text field
Now.
is editing. I am teaching the mail app today.
So
Insertion point at end.
we're gonna
Return.
change that.
Word today app mail care cap M A I L.
We'll just delete the AIL,
Delete L I A.
and we're going to put,
E S S A G E S.
now we're going to touch the upper middle right.
Message vertical text field.
No.
Cancel edit button.
We can cancel the edit.
Text field is editing. Send edit button.
We can send the edit. We can read it.
Text field is editing. I am teaching the messages app today.
Swipe right.
Send edit button. Send edit.
Now
Vertical
let's
scroll
read
bar.
it.
Cliff. Delivered bullet edited.
See?
Your iMessage. I am teaching the messages app today.
Swipe right.
Delivered bullet edited button.
And then
Cliff. Sleeping face emoji. Sleeping sign emoji. Person sleeping on a bed emoji. Yawning face with closed eyes emoji. Face with bags under eyes emoji.
all right,
2:49.
so Cliff is bored. Let's send an LOL, but I'm going to schedule it to send. It's 2 Eastern time. It's 2:51. We're going to schedule it for 2:55. So let's type LOL.
Cap L. Cap O L.
And instead of
Message. Text field is editing. Lol.
going over here to send to the right, we're going to go to the left,
Add button.
and we're going to add.
Lol.
Now,
Camera.
this is where we
Double
can...
tap and hold, then drag to reorder menu items.
So apparently you can...
Actions available.
Apparently you can change the order of these, but there's the camera if I want to take a picture or a video right in my conversation.
Photos.
There's the
Double.
photo library I can access right from within this conversation.
Stickers.
There's stickers. I can put a sticker in here.
Apple Cash.
I can send money to Cliff if I'd want to do that.
Polls.
We can create
Double tap.
a poll. And I demonstrated polls in the iPhone class. It's really cool.
Audio.
There's audio. I can record my voice.
Send later.
There's send later.
Double tap. Send later.
Where?
Today. Picker item.
There's the picker for the date. We're gonna leave it on today. And I don't know what's going to happen because I just got a phone call. They might have forgotten that I'm in class. Let me let that finish before we go back because that might have taken us out of our menu. I'm sure it did temporarily, but I want to wait till the call ends.
Zoom. Video.
All right, so it brought me to Zoom. Let's go to the app switcher.
A screenshot of a video game with text and app switcher. Call with Zoom. Messages. Act messages.
Nah, I don't know if I'm in my
active,
menu anymore.
Picture in picture display.
I suspect not.
PM. Selected.
Oh, no. Actually, it did keep it up there. All right, praise God. So again.
7 today. Picker item.
The date picker is the first one. I can go up and down with one finger to change the date. Let's go to the right.
7 o'clock. Selected.
Well, we want to send it much earlier than that. Again, it's 2:53. Let's swipe down to the 2.
6 o'clock. 5, 4, 2 o'clock.
And let's swipe to the right.
54 minutes.
Let's swipe up to 55.
55 minutes. PM. Selected.
That's a picker.
Item.
Also,
adjustable.
You can change it to AM and PM.
PM. 55 minutes. 2 o'clock. Today. Picker item.
Now we'll just scrub out of this. And then.
Message it. Vertical. Cliff. Sleep. Add. Today. 2:55 p.m. Button. Message. Send. Send. Dictate.
And I don't know if you heard that little sound. Now swipe left.
App. Message. Vertical. App. Today. 2:55 p.m. Edit. Button.
I can double tap on that to change the time or to cancel the message altogether or to send it immediately. If I actually want to edit the context of the message, I have to long press on the message just as I did a few minutes ago when I demonstrated editing a message you've already sent. But this is scheduled to send. And it's still not 2:55 yet, so it'll go out in a moment when it is 2:55.
Send later.
See, it's still marked as send later. But as soon as the clock turns to 2:55, why that's going to send. Your device doesn't even have to be on. It's different from the send later option in the mail app. The mail app, the send later, it stays in your outbox and you actually have to have your device turned on and you have to have it, able to connect to the internet in order for send later to work in the mail app. In the messages app, that's not the case. The technology there allows for that message to be stored in iCloud. So even if my device is offline or something, the battery or whatever, it will send. Now let's look.
Today, 2:55 p.m. Cliff.
See,
your Tuesday.
It's sent.
Your iMessage.
So
your vertical add Cliff sleeping. Your iMessage vertical. Your iMessage lol 2:55 p.m.
Now,
delivered.
And it shows it was delivered. So there you go. Okay. Let's go back and create a quick poll in our group conversation here with Cliff and Sarah.
Jessica, Carson, pinned. Beth, the cousins, Edward,
Okay,
Lori,
where's my group?
Best, for TTJ instruct.
All right.
Message, vertical, add.
The keyboard is not up, but that's okay. We're going to go to the add button.
Add. Camera.
I just got a
Double
message.
tap and hold.
I'll check that message momentarily, but let's create a quick poll.
Photos, stickers, Apple Cash, polls.
And I can check that message on my watch.
Selected. TTJ instructor chat. Message sent with spotlight. 2:36 p.m. Swipe up or down.
He says on iPad and phone it will send no matter what. All right, we're going to create a quick poll.
Cliff, unread. On iPad and phone, it will send no matter what.
I wonder if he's talking about mail. I have to ask him about that. Well, let's go on to the poll here.
Message. Poll. Choice 1. Text field. Choice 2. Text field. Choice 3. Text field.
So,
remove app. Poll.
And then
remove app from message. Button.
We can remove that if we changed our mind and we don't want to send it. Oh, okay. Cliff says... What did he say? He said... On iPad and phone? Yes, So he's talking about the mail app. So apparently it will send no matter what in the mail app too. You don't actually have to. I thought that you had to actually have it, turned on and whatever, but he said no, it'll send no matter what. So that's good to know. So I already have
Poll. Choice 3.
three choices here, and we can add more if we want to once we've filled in these three. So I'm going to ask Cliff and Sarah to weigh in on their favorite ice cream flavor. So we're going to put,
Choice 1. Text field is editing. Insertion
and it's
point.
already editing, so we're going to put chocolate,
Cap
and
H. Caps H O C O A T E.
I'm going to go over to choice 2,
Poll. Choice 2. Text field.
double tap,
Insertion point at end.
strawberry. Did I get the S?
Return. Cap S.
Yeah.
T R A W B E R R Y.
Choice 3,
Poll. Remove poll. Choice 3. Text field. Insertion point at end.
vanilla, of course.
Cap V. N I L L A. Choice 4. Text field.
Now notice
Double tap to edit.
how it added
Swipe up or
a fourth choice, and I'm just going to put
insertion point at end.
peanut butter. But I want to tell you before I send this, they can add their own. There's going to be an option on their screen to add their own custom choices too. So if they don't like any of the ones I've suggested, they can go ahead.
Cap P E N U T B U T T E R.
And by the way, it's almost 80, maybe it is 80 degrees here now today. Praise God. We're getting a nice preview of summer here in early March, which I'm just so thrilled about. Let me see now. I have four choices.
Poll, strawberry, chocolate.
Okay. They're there.
Chocolate.
Go to the
Text
left.
Message, add comment or send. Text field.
Well, I need to add a comment so they know why I'm sending this poll. So let's double tap.
Peanut butter. Add message. Text field is editing.
We'll say vote for your favorite ice cream flavor.
T E space O F O O space Y O U R space F A V O I T E space I C E R E A M ice cream. F L A
I want to let it.
V
Now,
O
that time it didn't.
R
Okay.
period flavor.
It would have done the whole word ice cream practically. I just didn't. I just kept typing. But
Peanut butter, vanilla, strawberry, chocolate. Message, text field is editing. Vote for your favorite ice cream flavor.
so we need to go
Insertion point at end.
to the right.
Remove app. Send button. Send.
What is it?
Dictate.
What's that
Dimmed
look like on the
button.
screen?
Poll. Your iMessage. Replay. Poll. Chocolate. 0 votes. Strawberry. 0 votes. Vanilla. Peanut butter. Messages. Add choice. Button.
There's add choice,
Your iMessage. Vote for your favorite ice cream flavor.
and that's where it says it.
Cliff is typing.
Cliff's already voting.
Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
We got the typing indicator, so we'll wait.
Your Cliff is typing. Swipe up or down.
Goodness gracious, what kind of flavor is he typing?
Your iMap. Cliff is typing.
I don't
Swipe
think-
up or down.
I don't think that was in the same.
Cliff, I know both of you
Conversation.
have said something's up with different
Oh.
students. I would look
No,
at
that was a
David
different.
and
That was a
Dave
different
as-
conversation. That was just coincidental. Although that conversation had Cliff in it too, so I have a minute hesitation there,
Your iMess. Cliff is typing.
and he might be
Swipe up or down.
reading that other message at the same time. But he'll get there, so they'll reply with their votes. But that's how you do a simple poll, and this can be really useful, really practical. You got to make sure everybody's got iOS 26. If you try to do this with non-Apple users, and a lot of those apps under that add button, that's the case, right? You can't send Apple Cash to somebody who's not an Apple user.
Cliff is typing.
And you
Swipe
can't.
up or down to select a custom action.
Let's see. I think that's the other conversation still.
Messages.
Okay.
Kylie
Yeah,
likes
that was.
all
Oh, that's my
customs.
daughter.
Happy
Oh,
birthday
she was
to
saying. Oh,
Cliff is
yeah.
Cliff is typing.
Lots of messages all coming in at once. Not really lots, but a few. So again, we'll still wait on Cliff's poll and Sarah's vote. But I'll tell you anyway. Make sure that when you're using these message apps, some of them will work no matter what, right? Like photos and camera. You can send a photo to just about anybody, Android, whatever. But send later polls, some of these other ones, Apple Cash, they have to be Apple users in order for them to be able to actually receive them properly. Now, certain things like tapbacks, they may work even if they're not Apple users. But all right, that other conversation is buzzing right now. But let's go back while we are talking about this, and I'll show you a couple other advanced features. So I'm in a group still, okay? You can do these things mostly in individual conversations too, but some of them are specific to groups. But I'm in a group. Again, let's touch the top right of the screen near the middle.
TTJ instructor chat button.
And that's the name. I'm going to come back to that in a moment, but swipe left.
FaceTime button.
FaceTime. That is perhaps my favorite way to start a group FaceTime call. Now, you can do this with individual people also, but, you can also use SIRI and say FaceTime so-and-so, or FaceTime audio. If you put the word audio after it, it creates a FaceTime audio call. For those who don't know, that's like a regular phone call, except much better quality because it's using Apple's secure systems over Wi-Fi or cellular data. But I will say you want to make sure you have good Wi-Fi or good cellular, or it's not going to be good. So if you have good Wi-Fi or strong cellular, it's going to be better than a regular phone call. If you don't, then opt for the regular phone call. But a lot of times when you're talking to Apple users, you'll like the FaceTime audio better. You can create group FaceTime calls right here. So here's my conversation that I'm already in with Cliff and Sarah, the TTJ instructor chat.
TTJ instructor chat button.
Just to the left, one swipe.
Double FaceTime button.
It says FaceTime. So I can double tap that and immediately create a group FaceTime call. A lot of you have done this already, and you know how that works. And you can have, I think, up to 32 people. At one point, I thought they had changed it to 64, but I don't remember. Either way, it's a lot of people. And your individual and group FaceTime calls support a lot of great features. You can use the camera or turn it off if you don't want to use the camera. You have great audio. You can do share play, where maybe I'm listening to a song and I want someone else to hear the song over FaceTime, so we can share that song. I can share my screen. Maybe show something on YouTube or a document I'm working on. I can do a screen share. You can play games with each other. Now, some of these share play features, like sharing music, for example, through Apple Music, both or all, if it's a group, parties on the call are going to have to belong to Apple Music, right? So if I want to play a song on Apple Music for somebody, that somebody also has to be an Apple Music subscriber. And if it's a group of 5 people, all 5 people have to have Apple Music. And some other services support that too, like Disney Plus and a few others. So it's a great way to share content. But you can also do a screen share what's on your screen, and then every audio and video will be able to be shared. So that's a great feature. And again, up to at least 32 people. Might even be 64, but it's at least 32 in these group FaceTime calls. How do I join a group FaceTime call that somebody else started? So someone else has started a group FaceTime. How do I join it? Well, there's a couple ways. Again, one of the easiest ways is through the Messages app, because if you open the conversation, what's going to happen is there's going to be right where that FaceTime button is there that I just showed you.
FaceTime button.
There's going to be a join button. Instead of FaceTime, it'll say join FaceTime. So you can join a FaceTime group call that's already in progress. If you choose to join one that's already in progress, there used to be a 2-step process, but I don't think there is anymore. I think you just double tap on join and it brings you right in. So it's very, very easy to join it that way. You can also open up your FaceTime app and join it that way. Now let me show you this button that we keep saying we're going to come back to, and I skip over it. It's
Compose FaceTime TTJ instructor chat button.
right, because
Double tap for additional contact options.
again, there's even more options when you have a group. So I want to show this to you.
Cliff is typing.
Whoops.
TTJ instructor chat. Message. Text field is editing.
And I think Cliff finally responded to our poll, but let's come back to that. Now he's going to have to wait a minute because I'm already in this menu here.
TTJ instructor chat. Button. Messages.
No, I'm not.
Add choice.
No, I'm not either.
Cliff. Peppermint chocolate chip. 303.
Okay.
Cliff.
See, he had to be difficult.
Cliff.
But
my vote is in. 3.
actually, I'll give that one to him. Peppermint chocolate chip is a good flavor of ice cream. I would agree. So that's Cliff's vote. Now, let's go back up here.
TTJ instructor chat. TTJ instructor chat. TTJ
And
message poll.
we're gonna-
TTJ instructor chat. Message text field messages. Your iMap Sarah Potok.
Okay.
TTJ instructor chat. TTJ instructor chat.
Now, what has happened is
Message Sarah Potok. Compose. Conversation plus cap K.
it put...
Space.
Where did it put it?
Conversations.
I heard it pop up,
Message today.
but I'm not seeing it yet.
Peanut butter.
Let's go past this poll.
Message dictate undo repeat cap pop B I'm
I think that
compose
this,
FaceTime TTJ instructor chat but message Cliff
Okay.
TTJ instructor messages.
I think what I'm
Add your
actually experiencing is
peanut butter chalk message your iMessage conversation some Volbrex and 220
I need to go back up to the top of the screen here.
Page 1 of Jessica.
Give me a minute to straighten this
Megan,
out here.
Selected. Selected. TTJ instructor chat. Messages. Add choice. Clip app peanut butter vanilla
'Cause I
zero
think
strawberry
what has-
chocolate. Return.
Let me just
Use the rotor to access misspec cap G O space
put-
F K A
Oops,
V O all
That'll fix
flavor.
that. All right.
Message send but send.
I said good flavor.
TTJ instructor message tech message TTJ instructor chat button.
Now,
Double tap for additional contact options. Messages. Cliff.
I think it's
Conversation. TTJ instructor chat.
might
button.
be this
App switcher. Reap. You sent a poll.
let's see.
Doc. Map. Mute. Map. Call
Okay,
with Zoom.
yeah.
Message.
Yeah.
Zoom. Message.
Uh,
Zoom. Maps. Act. Scott. Map. Close. Act. Zoom. Close. Zoom.
Okay, I don't wanna
Active
do that.
Maps.
I wanted to
Zoom
do-
messages. Cap M.
yeah, I think what
Mike.
happened actually here.
Windows stashed. Siri suggestions.
Let me go back to this a
Widget
minute because I think my picture-in-picture and my phone call and everything got things a bit...
App switcher. Messages. Active. Call with messages. Zoom. Close messages.
Let's just reopen
Closing
it.
messages.
Okay.
Doc. Messages. 9 unread messages.
And I apparently have a lot of unread
Double tap
messages
to
still.
open.
No big deal.
Minimize meeting. Video. Jessica. Carson.
All right,
pinned.
so back to my...
Megan. Selected. Selected. TTJ instructor.
Okay.
Selected. TTJ messages.
Now-
You sent a poll. Sarah Potok.
All right.
FaceTime. Button.
Up it.
TTJ instructor chat. Button. Messages. Sarah Potok. Oh yeah. Today.
Up
12.
at the top,
Sarah Potok. TTJ
we should have
instructor
had-
FaceTime. But compose. TTJ instructor chat. Call. Button. FaceTime. Mail. But edit name and photo. Edit background. Dismiss context menu.
what I
Button.
actually did to get that was to long press on that. I don't know why. I think, as I said, it was all these weird things that happened there simultaneously with the picture-in-picture window and all these other things. But when I long pressed it, look at all these options here.
Call. Button.
We can make a call.
FaceTime.
We can do
button.
video FaceTime.
Mail. Button.
We can send mail.
Edit name and photo.
We can
button.
edit the name and photo, and that's so important. That's not available for individual conversations. It's only available for groups. And the reason you might want to do this is maybe you want to have more than one conversation with the same group of people. So maybe you have 5 family members that always do things together. And so you have one for your monthly going out to dinner. You have another one for your summer vacation. You have another one for your book club, but it's the same people. So you could name the conversation different things so you keep things organized. And each conversation will stay in your list unless you delete it. It will appear there. You can even use SIRI to send a message to it. You could say, send a message to monthly dinner group or whatever, right? And then notice
Edit name and photo. Button.
that's where we'd go.
Edit background. Button.
We can also have a conversation background, which is really cool because that allows us to pick different, maybe I'll show you that real quick.
Dismiss context menu.
And I can do the background.
Filter.
I can do the background for individual conversations too.
Jessica.
Let me go
pinned.
over here to my cousin again.
Megan. Pinned. Message. Your I. Megan Everett.
And that one
FaceTime.
is
Megan Everett.
when I do this one.
Messages. Your iMess. Compose. FaceTime. Megan. Call. FaceTime. Mail. +1. Show contact card. Button.
See, I can show the contact card.
Copy phone number. Button.
All those choices.
Edit background.
But let's
button.
go to edit background.
Filter. Button.
All right, let's see.
Selected. Megan. Messages. Vertical scroll.
Now,
Add. Message. Messages. Megan Kathleen
what I want to
Whistle.
do
That conversation.
is
Search.
um,
Search close. Button.
it's up at the upper right. I found this close button, and if I swipe to the right,
Edit. Button.
we can say,
Megan. Call. Button.
Wait a minute.
Edit. Close. Dictate. Message. Add. Button. Messages.
Okay.
Your app.
go over this way.
Dictate. Close. Edit. Button. Megan. Call. Video. Button. Mail. Button.
All those choices are there.
Info. Button.
Info, that's going to give me more information about the conversation. Now it's showing up the way I expected it to.
Selected. Backgrounds.
Now look, you have these choices.
Info.
So you
button.
have info,
Selected. Backgrounds.
then you have backgrounds, it's selected.
Photos. Button.
Photos,
Links. Button.
links,
Documents. Button.
documents. So what I can do, instead of having to search through a conversation and say, oh, when did they send me that web link? I know it was like 3 months ago. Do I really have to scroll all that far back? No. Just choose links, and it will display all the links in a gallery that you've received in a particular conversation. Same thing with photos. Same thing with
Documents. Button.
documents. So I can double tap on any of these and see any attachment that we've sent each other, because with iMessage you can send PDFs, pages, documents. You can even collaborate together on documents, and we'll probably cover some of that when we teach pages in a few weeks here. But you can see all the documents, all the links, all the photos, all of those things. I'm in backgrounds right now, so that's going to let me choose a background if I keep swiping to the right.
Locations. Selected. None. Button.
You can even pick locations. All right, but anyway, our background choices. None.
Photo.
Photo.
Button. Color. Sky. Water. Aurora. Suggestions. Heading.
And then there's other suggestions.
Background suggestion. Button. Image. A group of plants on a sandy surface in front of a body of water.
That actually sounds great. Let's use that.
Image. A white surface with a gray line.
Okay,
Done. Button.
hit done.
Done. Select alert. Low battery. 10%. Low power mode. Close.
I'll plug in, no big deal.
Selected.
I hadn't charged it since I got home, but we'll plug it in. It'll be fine. So let me grab the plug here, and we'll continue. That is a very important, and that's the way I wanted that other one to look. And I'm going to go back and see if it's working in the other one now. But if not, I can show it to you again here.
Kids chat. Pinned.
Let's go.
Select TTJ and
Okay.
Megan. Pin. Select all iMessage. All I turn on contact key verification. Leave this show and shared with you.
Yeah, it's actually showing up now. I don't know what happened. It was just being a little wonky, as they say. But it's there now. All the same stuff.
Sarah. Cliff. Links. Video. Call. TTJ instructor chat.
And where it is
Edit. But close.
It's-
But dictate. Dim. Message. iMessage. Text field.
it's to the right of the edit field. And that's what I said. I think something I did just was causing it to be a little weird, but it's fine now. So if you swipe to the right of the edit field, once you've double tapped on the name of the conversation, and by the way, if it's not a person's name, like the one said Megan, and that was the button. This one says TTJ Instructor Chat button because I've named it. If you haven't named it, it'll just say like 4 people or 3 people, however many. You double tap on that, and to the right of your edit field, I mean, maybe it was me. Maybe I just didn't look in the right place, but I'm going to just blame it on it being wonky. All right, I don't know. Maybe it's actually my fault. Either way, we have it now. To the right of the edit field,
Dictate. Dimmed. Button.
and one more time,
Close. Button.
there's the close button. All the info is here now. Go to the right
Edit. Button.
so we can edit, and I'll come back to that.
TTJ instructor chat.
There's the name.
Call. Button.
We can place a call,
Video. Mail. Button.
mail.
Selected. Info.
All right, so info is already selected, okay? But notice, remember these other ones.
Backgrounds. Links. Cliff. Button.
Okay.
Links.
I don't apparently have any documents or locations in this one to share, but I have documents, I have
Backgrounds.
backgrounds.
Button.
So then if I go to the right,
Cliff. Button. Sarah. Button.
I can see the names of the people in the group. So I've got Cliff and Sarah.
Cliff. button.
And notice
Cap K.
if I
Sarah button.
would double tap on them, it would show me their own info.
Add button.
There's an add button. What is that for? Well, maybe I want to bring another person into this group. So that's how you do that. You hit add. Then again, all the things below it are dependent upon what you have selected. In the conversation with Megan, we had backgrounds selected. If you had links selected, it would show you all the links that you've shared with each other. In this conversation right now, I have info selected. And so, if I swipe to the right,
Hide alerts. Switch button. Off.
our first choice is
Double tap to toggle settings.
hide alerts. Very similar to what we had in the rotor on the left side before.
Show and shared with you. Switch button. On.
Show in
Double tap to toggle settings.
shared with you. What does that mean? Well, again, it's another way of making life easier, okay? It's another way of helping you to keep track of things. Let's suppose that Sarah sends an article to this group. And then maybe next week, Cliff sends an article to this group. And then a week later, I send an article, right? And sometime we are looking through this conversation and we say, you know, I know that Cliff sent an article and Sarah sent an article, but where are they? Well, instead of having to search through the conversation, I open the app that the article was sent in. Let's say it's Apple News. Maybe they sent a news article. Or maybe it's Safari. It's a website. Or a song in the music app. Whatever it is, those apps are going to have a shared with you section. And I'll show you that when I have opportunity as we're teaching these different apps. But shared with you aggregates everything that has been shared with you. Imagine that. And so show in shared with you allows messages with this group to appear in shared with you sections of the other apps. All right, go on.
Leave this conversation. Dim.
I don't want to do that, but
Turn on contact key verification. All iMessage conversations are securely encrypted.
all right, that's it for the info section. Again, that's how you add people. That's how you work with people. That's how you can access links, photos. So,
App Sarah. Cliff. Links. Backgrounds. Selected. Mail.
the only other
button.
thing I want to show you is edit.
Call TT. Edit. Button. Image. Edit name and photo. Button.
And again, it's just like the other option when you long press it. Edit the name and the photo of the group.
Edit background.
Edit the
button.
background.
Dismiss context menu.
We're just going to
Button.
dismiss. And
Cliff.
now I'm gonna,
Selected. TTJ instruct.
on the right side,
Message it. Add.
see,
button.
I think it was my fault because I think the conversation stays there. It's another one of those things that's like almost like an overlay. But if I go to the right,
Message. Dictate. Close. Button.
close is still there.
Close. TTJ instructor chat. Button.
Hey, I don't mind occasionally. I mean, I don't like to be wrong. Nobody likes to be wrong, but I don't mind, especially once I learn the right way, because I showed you some troubleshooting technique there, and it works, and praise God. So he showed me. It's all good. So that's your info on conversations. That's how you work with anything from photos to web links to other kinds of things there. Okay. I've got to just respond to a real quick message. And after I respond to that real quick message, we will continue. I am teaching, but you can give them a call. Okay. Now, let's do one other thing. What I've shown you is some of the more advanced features of the Messages app.
New mail.
Okay. What I've shown you so far is like some of the more advanced features of the Messages app, and I think you can understand how useful that is. We can have group FaceTime calls. We can send, different types of effects. We can access documents and web links that have been sent to us previously in a conversation. We can create polls. We can name the conversations. What if I want to send some kind of attachment, like a Pages document or an audio recording or something? Well, typically I'm going to do that from within the apps that have created them, like Pages or voice memos. or sometimes I can do it from the Files app. Well, I can always do it from the Files app if it is an app that supports Files app integration. So we'll show you all of those things in this class. We're going to get to all of those things in this class. So it's not all going to happen today, but it is going to happen. All right, praise God. We're going to cover all of it eventually, or as much of it as we can, in the context of this course, for sure. So we'll get to that. But I want to show you one other thing about the Messages app that is really important, because this is, again, what separates the iPad from other things. So all we've done so far is touchscreen, and that's normally how I operate apps on the iPad. But now let's just jump over for a moment and look at this as a what if I'm just learning this app? Well, let's look at the menu bar. And we actually did already look at the menu bar in Messages, but now let's do it again from a different standpoint. You remember how to get the menu bar, right? Touch the top, swipe down, swipe back up.
Menu bar, window controls, button.
So what might I find in the menu bar? Well, let's look.
Messages, button. File, button.
The Messages app menu, you know, has the settings for messages and stuff. Let's go over to File, see what's here.
New message, command, in, button.
Okay, so not only can I tap the Compose button on the right-hand side of the screen, I can go up to the File menu and I can choose New Message. I can also, if I'm using a keyboard, press Command N. Let's go to the right.
Close window, command, W,
All right,
button.
good to know.
Open conversation in new window, button.
Now, open conversation in new window. Remember, we had that option also in the rotor.
Print, command, P.
All right,
button.
I can apparently print.
Dismiss context menu, button.
Let's dismiss that one. And let's
Zoom.
go back up to the status bar and see what else.
3, Tuesday, window, messages, file, edit, button.
All right, well, edit. I'm not going to take the time to go through edit, but it's the stuff you would imagine. Copy, paste, all that. Let's go to the right.
View, button.
View.
Conversation, button. Format, window, help.
And by the way, format will have like those. Well, let's look. I'll show you.
Format, bold, command, B, italic, command, I.
Remember
button.
these? They were under the text animations. But now notice I could do Command B to bold. I don't have to go to the menu or even the touchscreen. I can do Command B if I'm using a keyboard. I can use Command I. So if I'm using my magic keyboard, I can press Command B and I can bold this.
Underline, command, U, strike through, button.
Now, not all of them have keyboard commands associated with them. Notice that strike through doesn't, but that still means there's two ways to get it. We can get it on the screen or we can get it from the menu bar.
Text effects.
Now,
Big, option, command, 1.
these
button.
have keyboard commands.
Small, option, command, 2. Shake, option, command, 3.
What's the
button.
one we did? Bloom, right?
Nod, ripple, bloom, option, command, 7.
So if I had pressed Option Command 7, the number 7, on my keyboard, I could have applied that same bloom effect.
Chiller, option,
Okay.
command, 8.
And then
dismiss context menu.
Dismiss
button.
context menu.
Selected.
The other
Zoom,
thing,
messages.
the other thing that I want to remind you is that if you press Command and then the numbers 1 through, I think, 9. Now, notice these commands we just had were Option Command. You hold down the Option key and the Command key. But if I just press Command and let's say Command 1, Command 2, Command 3, those are going to move me to my pins. Remember, I have 8 or 9 pins, conversations that are pinned to the top of the list. My family, all those different ones I showed you. And if I press Command 1, Command 2, Command, so on, they will take me directly to, and it will select those particular conversations. Trainer Cliff demonstrated a little bit of that for you last week. Now, the other one I'll just do in the menu bar is the conversation menu, just to show you again that everything that's on the screen is also available in the menu bar. So let's
Tuesday, March
touch the
10th.
status bar.
Window, message, file, edit, view, conversation, show details, option, command, I, button.
So Option Command I would bring up that same screen that I got before when I at first didn't know where it was and eventually found it down at the bottom to the right of the edit field, right? The conversation details, all right?
Show contact card, option, command, B, dimmed.
And
button.
notice they have keyboard commands.
Mark as unread, shift, command, U, button. Hide alerts, option, command, M, button.
If you want to hide the alerts, Option Command M, like mute.
Block person, dimmed, button.
Okay.
Delete conversation, button. Send email. Option. Command. E. Send file. Button. Share my screen. Dimmed. But ask to share screen. Group FaceTime video. Button. Group FaceTime audio. Dismiss context menu. Button. Tuesday.
The thing is, you'll notice that and I'm going to go back to Zoom here.
App switcher. No messages. Call. Zoom. Active.
There was one of them that was not available, and I think it was the
Charlie noted
it was one of the ones that I think it was share screen, probably because we're already in Zoom. So it wouldn't allow that to happen right now while we're in a Zoom call. I'm going to turn off the original audio so we can go to the other instructors and then get your questions. But I think what I'm trying to get you to see, and one of the things that will be a very, very common theme, a recurring theme with every app that we teach this year. First of all, I'm not teaching the app from the ground up. I think you've seen that. I'm trying to highlight some of the more advanced features because this is an iPad. It's an advanced course. And so we're showing you some of the more, and it's easy for you to send a message. And I did a quick demo of that.
Sharon Taylor left. Displaying Patty Woodworth's avatar.
There, folks.
Explore image. Speech off.
I showed you some of the more advanced features. We did send a basic message, but then I showed you, the polls and group FaceTime and how to find documents and so on in your messages. So we do that. But I'm also showing you the menu bar and the keyboard commands, and I'm going to try to do that with every app where it's available because I think that's one of the really important things. One of the reasons that the iPad is indeed the most diverse, in my opinion, Apple device that there is, because again, like we said before, you can access the app using the touch screen, you can access the app using the keyboard, you can access the app using the menu bar, use the trackpad, use a mouse, whatever you want. So I hope you're getting that idea. And finally, we're going to do a separate podcast on this, but I just want to give a shout out to a brand new iPad that was released last week. It is the iPad Air M4. So the iPad A16 was not updated as of right now. It's still, the A16 is still the current model. It's still an excellent model. But now there's also the iPad Air M4. So I'll be doing a podcast on that. Some of you that have been sort of holding off, thinking about what iPad to get, that iPad Air M4 might just be the sweet spot you were looking for. A lot of power, folks. A lot of power. 12 gigabytes of memory, which is just incredible for an iPad. Gorgeous display for those who can see it. Lots of power for those who are focused on that. And they've switched to Apple's custom modem and Wi-Fi chip, so that's a leg up there. This is a great iPad. It's the iPad M4. It supports a Magic Keyboard, and it's a little bit lower in cost than the one for the Pro. They have it in both 11-inch and 13-inch sizes. And you start at 128 gigabytes of storage and goes all the way up to a terabyte. You can get 4 different options, 128, 256, 512, or 1 terabyte on the iPad Air. And it comes in 4 colors: space gray, blue, purple, and starlight. So just keep that in mind. We'll be doing a podcast on that later. But since this is an iPad course, I felt I should give that a quick comment.
Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Have an additional comment or feedback? Email us info@ttjtech.biz or info@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. Or check out our websites for additional resources. That's ttjtech.biz or stiritup.com. And remember, subscribe to the newsletter when you're there. That way, you don't miss out on any upcoming announcements or events. Thanks for joining us. God bless, and see you next time.